welcome back to the program. You're watching Morning Thailand with Fire and Golf. Now, of course, one of the most shocking news, and we report about this already, that since the day that they decided to I guess, officially resign from the post of the MPs, and yesterday, finally, the Democrat MPs, so 9 altogether, including Kun Suthep Suban, actually went in and handed in a letter to resign from the MP's post itself. And this include Kun Suthep Suban, of course, the Surathani MPs, along with Kun Thawon Seniam, the MPs from Songkhla province, Kun Isara Somchai, Kun Sathit Wong Nong Tei, Kun Withaya Kaew Paradai, Kun Chumpon Junsai, as well as Kun Puttipong Punnakan, Kun Ekanat Prompan, and Kun Nathapon Teep Suwan. Now they all went to first yesterday in the morning, first thing in the morning about 10:25, to pay respect to the statue in front of their party itself before they actually move on to the government house to hand in their resignation letters. And they say that this particular move is to allow them to fully join the demonstration as one of the civilians and not as the MP. And that's meaning that we report about this yesterday too, that it means that they say they would not want to have any immunity in terms of over, joining or any type of charges that might go against them is probably will be charged just as other demonstrators of the political demonstration. Now they say that at this point, Kun Suthep has talked to the press saying that they are no longer have any association with Democrat Party, which technically I would say they're not representing Democrat Party, but it's still part of the ideology that merged from the Democrat Party as well. Now they say that Kun Aphisit Wechashiwa, the leader of the Democrat Party, as well as Kun Chuan Lik Pai, one of the most senior members of the Democrat Party, they both were informed already about this move. So I guess no bad blood, that's what they want to say. But at this point, are we going to have to wait and see what would be the next move, especially for today? What would Kun Suthep Suban along with the other MPs do in terms of leading the crowd itself? Because don't forget, the amnesty bill has already been off, right? And according to the 4 government whip parties, they say that they're not going to do anything more with the amnesty bill. And technically, the demonstrators right now are on the street to oppose the amnesty bill itself.
In other words, to overthrow the government from now on.
Exactly, that's their goal. But I'm not quite sure if everyone that joined this demonstration actually want to overthrow, or are they just there to oppose the amnesty bill. So I guess today would be the day that we might see a little bit more clearer in terms of what are they supporting and whether or not the business sector would join them.
There were unconfirmed reports from the interview with Kun Prasop Surasawadi yesterday that I want to add here. He said that the Election Commission or the EC is going to conduct a probe into whether or not this 9 Democrats MP is justifying to resign from the parliament. Because they said that if they want to resign in order to organize a demonstration, that would be illegal. And the EC is going to press charges against them because they have to hold another by-election and that would cost the government's budget.
So DSI and the EC.
Yes.
Okay, gotta look out for that then.
Now moving on to another movement here of other groups of demonstration against the government. We've seen a lot of police around the Ratchatham Avenue these days because there's a lot of groups. 3 groups mainly on the street on Ratchatham Avenue, and one of them is the Pivot, the People's Democratic Force to overthrow Thaksin regime. And yesterday, their leader, led by Major General Chamlong General Pricha Iem Supan, together leading the protesters on a march yesterday morning from their rally site on Ratchatham Avenue to the Grand Palace in order to submit a petition to His Majesty the King asking for royal endorsement for the People's Council, that's what they call, to pressure the government into giving up its power. Major General Chamlong said that the government should stop doing its duty because they failed to comply with all their responsibilities in every way. The protesters have previously called for a People's Council and the People's Court to be established earlier as a force to hold the government accountable for its alleged abuse of power. So the march led by Major General Chamlong, he was also known as the former leader of the Yellow Shirt,
right,
the
PAD.
People's Alliance of Democracy. And on Monday, I guess, Major General Chamlong has held a press conference
Right.
together with Kun Sunthit Limthongkul talking about the
ICJ's ruling.
and also
Oh, okay.
their plan
Okay.
to asking for royal endorsement to give
Right.
back the power, the plan that they're going to reform politics, Thai politics, and also other issues as well. They're asking politicians to give back the power to His Majesty the King, and that His Majesty would should appoint a transitional government while electoral democracy is suspended for a few years. He said 2 or 3 years. That was the way to whitewash all the
The
evil politicians.
set zero kind
the
of thing.
set zero, but not the Amnestyville way.
Right. So, so there's two of the ideas out in the street right now.
Yeah.
We're not sure which one.
So yesterday, as the protesters reached the Grand Palace at Visay Chai Si Gate, their leaders were allowed inside to submit a petition to
Okay.
the officials on behalf of the royal household inside the Grand Palace. However, there were some groups and the rally goers themselves that opposed this particular plan.
Well, that's the thing. It seems like it's just really far on the, you know, it's quite intense at this point. That there's, I think we're going to have to find a way right in between. But it seems like all the preparations in place. They say that 61 police companies are employed already for this to get ready for the rallies, and 307 security checkpoints were in place. So if you go around town these days and you are stopped by the police, well, they're checking whether or not you have weapons and whether or not, you know, you're going to instigate violence
Yes,
in
of
the
course.
demonstration.
And there were reports from the cabinet meeting yesterday about a large sum of budget that has been allocated for police unit.
Right.
Not for the controlling of the demonstration, but they said a budget of 104 million has been given to police authority, and that will go to the purchase of the phone jamming devices.
Right, to cut all the signals
Yeah.
in the area so we can't communicate during the time of demonstration. All right, let's take a short break, because when we come back, civil disobedience, civil government, and the Thai democracy will be discussed by Kun Chain, so please stay tuned.